Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Health Industry. The topic of today has nothing to do with health, so brace yourself if you are looking for the normal content. Today, I want to talk about my favorite animes of all time. Trust me, I've watched a lot anime and I've watched a lot of novels. I've read them. I've probably read more books than 10 of you guys. I've forgotten about more books than 10 of you guys will ever read in your goddamn whole lifetimes. Unless you're doing MBBS, then only 5 of you. That's all. So, the quote of the day is also going to be from us. This is your host, Dr. Hitosh, and welcome to Health Industry. The quote of today is also going to be one of my favorite quotes that I remember to this day. It was said by Mr. Brook from One Piece. Death is no excuse when a man makes a promise. See, it's lovely, right? Death is no excuse when a man makes a promise. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm gonna tell you one of the most I've left anime behind and all this novel and stuff. Everything I've left behind for my career and stuff. But I'm gonna only talk about stuff that left great impact on me. The stuff that I can just recall off the top of my head because I've watched thousands of shows and I've forgotten most of them. I mean, nobody forgets Game of Thrones, right? Other 100 Netflix series, everyone forgets them, right? So let's go. Let's start with one of the shows that has left biggest impact on my life, the number one of all time, the GOAT for my personal heart, the only movie that ever made me cry real tears, Grave of the Fireflies. So it is a story about World War II in which various cities, civilian areas in Japan were bombed and a guy loses his parents. Actually, what happened amazingly was that I was the same age as the protagonist when I watched this, and I could totally imagine it, the world going to fuck all and us losing our income. All it takes is, I suppose, a little bit of riots, a little bit of, I mean, it won't take much for our society to fall apart. Trust me when I say this, I've thought about it a lot. Crises happen in countries all the time, and if it happens to us, I imagine that I would have been the exact same position that guy was in. So, Grave of Fireflies, check this out. You're gonna have to speed it up a little bit because I'm sure you can't watch it with that level of patience. You're gonna watch it at 1.8 or 2x, but that's okay because it's so slow paced. But if you go through it, you will love every damn minute of it. It's such a great show, the greatest anime movie of all time for me, Grave of Fireflies. So now let's move on to the second. Second is Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and One Piece is third. I'm not going to talk much about Legend of the Galactic Heroes because it's a very old show, and I'm sure you're never going to see it because of its atrocious old school animation. But it basically tells the intergalactic war between a democratic society, democratic planetary allies, and uh, who is headed by a young commander who is pretty low in the hierarchy by Yang Wenli, and there is this guy known as Reinhard von Lohengram, who is the dictator of this great monarchy, interplanetary monarchy, and it's just a great show. It has so much depth and so much scale in it that it's recommended, but I'm sure no one's gonna watch it. And One Piece, why One Piece is one of the greatest shows of all time? Well, it is for a reason. The amount of depth some of these characters possess, the amount of sufferings they show, and the liberation it brings when Luffy finally liberates the people, eases their pain, and just Luffy is the charismatic guy who knows all the answers. He's simple, straightforward, and gets things done. I don't know how to describe it, but One Piece is known by everyone for a reason. Now, next up is Naruto, Naruto. Number fourth is Naruto. Why is Naruto behind One Piece? Because it's kind of a little bit backtracked in my memory, but I assure you, Naruto is every bit as good as One Piece, maybe sometimes even better. Now, next up is Attack on Titan. The name alone is enough. Attack on Titan is the most beginner friendly of this. If you've never watched an anime and for some reason you have come to watch my videos, trust me, watch Attack on Titan. Why should you watch it? Imagine someone hasn't watched Game of Thrones. That's the best TV series of all time, period. And Attack on Titan is on par with that. I assure you, you goddamn idiot, watch Attack on Titan anime. Next up is something very close to my heart. Something that inspired me in a time I wanted to be inspired. A place further than the universe. Many of you wouldn't have heard of it. It's a pretty slice of life, little bit anime, and it's a story about three girls going to Antarctica to explore. They just want to go on an adventure. It's crazy. It inspired me in a lot of ways to travel, and that's why I love it. So I'm not going to talk about it, but do check it out. A place further than the universe. 100% recommended. 100%. Now, we're going to talk about a rom-com and light-hearted stuff that brings you peace and joy. So on my list, stuff that gives you peace is there's an anime known as Lovely Complex, Ore Monogatari, that is my love story, and Usagi Drop. All three are pretty solid. They are rom-coms which you can just watch and enjoy, feel good about it. Usagi Drop particularly, it is about a man adopting a little girl, and it's just cutesy parent-child dynamics all over the place, and you will love every minute of it. And there is Oro Monogatari, that is my love story, in which there is a really tough, powerful dude who gets a girlfriend, and it's lovely. Lovely Complex is about a love story between a really tall girl and a short-heighted guy. And it's very fun, and I suppose Great Teacher Onizuka goes with it. And there's one more, but I can't remember its name. Great Teacher Onizuka, Lovely Complex, Usagi Drop, and Ore Monogatari at number 7 as the feel-good anime. Now comes the Isekai Masterclass. Isekai means transported to another world. It is a word added in the dictionary recently at Oxford because it has become so commonly used. So what does it mean? It means, and the definitive number one on this list undisputedly is gonna be Mashoko Tensei, or also known as the jobless reincarnation. I did not see it in anime form. I saw it later, but the anime didn't impress me. I read its light novel way back when I was reading novels, and trust me, Mashoko Tensei's light novel is the only light novel isekai that I ever think was worth reading or watching. Every other isekai shit is just trash, full of filth and nonsense. Now, on the 10th, there is a lot of stuff on the 10th, but I suppose, sorry, I'm on the 9th right now. On the 9th are the sad shows. The sad shows include Anohana, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, Planet, Your Line April. These are the four definitive sad shows that you're gonna watch if you wanna. I don't particularly care much for it, and as a doctor from health industry, I wouldn't recommend them, but you do you guys, your choice. So I suppose I should give you, Anohana is about a young girl who died and her ghost haunts her adult friend. The girl died in middle school and her ghost haunts the guy in college, or I don't know, high school. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas about is a girl getting pancreatic cancer which is not curable, and a guy finds out about her secret, and she lives a free life and does not want to bother anyone, and she wants to go on living that ordinary lifestyle, and they date. It's a pretty sad ending. Clannad is less about Clannad and Clannad after story. The less about said about it, the better. Your lie in April is similar to I want to eat your pancreas. I want to eat your pancreas, and it has stuff related to cancer and stuff. The girl dies. It's too old in my memory, so I don't remember much. Now the tenth ranking. The tenth ranking has a lot of competition, so I'm gonna tell you each why it is there. Neon Genesis Evangelion. The show did not make much sense to me, but the songs, the Fly Me to the Moon and Let Me Play Among the Stars, Let Me See What Spring is Like on Jupiter and Mars. And the Neon Genesis Evangelion's opening, A Cruel Angel's Thesis. Like an angel who has forsaken sympathy, rise up, young boy, and make yourself. It's great. It has another. It all returns to nothing. Come Sweet Death. These three songs, Fly Me to the Moon, Come Sweet Death, and A Cruel Angel's Thesis. These songs make Neon Genesis Evangelion an unforgettable experience, even though the anime I did not much care for. Next up is Code Geass and Death Note. Code Geass I personally rate over Death Note. Why do I do that? Because of the goddamn ending. I hated the Death Note's ending, and I loved Code Geass's. Now what's up? What is left? I suppose that completes our video for today. There's nothing left, and a health industry always looking out for you. Dr. Hitosh Daya signing off. Goodbye.